We learned in clusters so far how important communication is in any organization. Communication builds relationships, and poor communication can break these relationships, and in turn cause business dealings to fail. In this topic, we focus on confidentiality of documentation, as well as the advantages and disadvantages of different types of communication. Analyzing information. Always ensure to read and analyze the information and communication before distributing, if needed. Make sure that you're aware of the author, the recipient, and what the communication is about before performing the task. In this instance, distribution to David has been authorized, although it is also good to get everything in writing, even a confirmation of some sort and any business dealing. Being the main forms of communication today, electronic communication may not always be as effective. Let's take a look at some advantages and disadvantages. Advantages include the speed of transmission, versatility, it provides a written account of the communication, it can be saved for referral later, and it can be sent at a convenient time to places all over the world. Now, one of the disadvantages is it can get lost and or removed. Now you may be asking how or why these things can happen. Its servers may be down, there may be line problems, anything can happen that could corrupt the message or maybe to send it on a completely different path. It is also necessary to follow up any communication done via telephone and or in person, just to make sure. The recipient may not receive the message, servers may be down, constantly waiting for mail, and unnecessary responses. It is a common rule today to expect feedback within 24 hours after sending and or give feedback within 24 hours after receiving electronic communication. Make sure to always maintain the highest level of confidentiality when dealing with company documents. With the increase of identity theft, personal and or organization, it is important to make sure that all information you learn about the organization may never be divulged and or spoken about to anyone in or outside the organization, unless it is part of a task and or process that are performed which need to be communicated to the relevant parties. You have an individual responsibility toward your organization. Now there's a long list of knots here, so I hope you got your pen and paper ready. It is each and everyone's individual responsibility to not discuss with outsiders your employer's private business affairs or any dealings with clients or customers. Not participate in conversations or actions designed to injure the reputation of another employee. Not complete unfair against another employee, not take the credit for another employee's accomplishments, not allow another employee to be blamed for your errors or failures, not take company supplies for personal use, not use company equipment, fax machine, copier, telephone, internet for personal use without authorization, not leave company files, electronic documentation, CDs, and other confidential information in an unprotected or unsecured area. Not leave drawers, filing cabinets, and storage areas unlocked overnight or at other times when you're away. Not leave sensitive material on a desk uncovered and in full view of everyone to read. Always discard documents in the manner prescribed by the organization. And not copy paper or electronic documents illegally. Confidential information. Types of information that needs to be dealt with confidentially. Personal information about an employee, their salary, other sources of income, personal details like home address, telephone numbers, performance at work, disciplinary actions, promotions, private affairs like health, medical records, finances, marital and family matters. Employees may confide in one another about various aspects of their life. However, you have a responsibility to keep the information to yourself. That employee may just need some time to talk. Routine business information, private information, confidential business information, which includes details of clients and their income, financial matters, transactions that have been done with your organization, nothing generally that you may learn about the client through dealing with the paperwork and or documents and or hearing about verbally. Materials and or documents that are provided by the client must be catalogued, stored, protected, and their confidentiality kept. If these items must be taken outside of the office, then the same standards of protection must apply. This must also apply with the Protection of Personal Information Act. Do a little research on the Act. It is freely available and your responsibility to be informed. Read up about the do's and the don'ts and your rights in terms of personal identity. Employee information and or identities are kept by HR, who have a high level of confidentiality that must be upheld by law. Employee personal files must be kept in accordance with the Personal Protection of Information Act as discussed previously. Make sure that information is secure using secure system, whether it be a manual system where locks should be provided or an electronic system where passwords, any kind of security measures need to be put in place to make sure that the information is not accessible to anyone. Strict confidential matters about the organization include new products that the organization wants to launch to get an edge over the competition, new offices or branches to be opened that are still in the planning phases, new policies and procedures, personal matters, internal policies and procedures, promotions, salary increases, negotiations for big contracts and tenders and the details thereof, new appointments to senior management and the board of directors until the matter has been finalized and made public. So what are the main ideas in analyzing and distributing information in business? Analyze and evaluate information to ensure it is being distributed in accordance with procedures. Make sure to treat all documentation and or information you hear about with the highest level of confidentiality. You have an individual responsibility to conduct yourself in an honest and trustworthy manner. Personal and company information must be kept safe and secure, whether electronically and or manually. Never divulge any organizational matters with anyone outside, inside the organization.